Welcome to another episode of my climate change show that has a really long and awkward title. You wouldn't believe what happens at the end of the world. So we were talking about global climate change and the related environmental issues in the past couple of episodes. Now, we identified carbon dioxide as the main culprit for the global climate change. So the rising levels of carbon dioxide produced by industry and burning of fossil fuels such as coal, gas, or oil actually are causing Earth to heat up and are causing the greenhouse effect. Now, we have this insane amount of emissions that have been increasing exponentially. Like if we look at the carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere in 200 years ago, prior to the start of the Industrial Revolution, they were 280 parts per million. And then if you take a look at the 1960s, the carbon dioxide was measured at 316 parts per million. And now we are in the year 2022. And actually, the measurements for November 2022 are 418.53 parts per million, which means that the human activity really increased the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and we are responsible for it because this is actually the first time in the history of the planet that carbon dioxide has been rising that exponentially and has been heating out the planet in such a short time span. So what can we do about it? We can actually limit the carbon emissions, and as Earth, all the governments can work together in order to kind of diminish the impact of the industries. But however, this is kind of a long-term process, right? We could also do, besides carbon, limiting carbon emissions, we could also capture carbon. So I'm here to talk today about this super cool, new, exciting technology that actually it's called carbon sequestration. So what is carbon sequestration? Basically, by any means, the biological, technological, or similar carbon is captured from either atmosphere or the oceans, because oceans are one of the biggest deposits of carbon dioxide. And once it's captured, it is stored, preferably for a long geological period. Now, there are some serious issues related to that. But let's talk about this super cool technology that I just kind of discovered recently. And that is one startup is building this algae fields in the Moroccan desert. Now, algae have this like super cool potential to capture CO2. And this brilliant startup, it's actually called Brilliant Planet Startup. They want to use algae fields to capture CO2. Algae actually eat CO2 and use it as food for the growth, and they convert it to sugars. So this startup, they want to take the algae from the ocean, put it into this huge fields of algae, and make them capture CO2. And after the algae has grown, they say it takes 2 weeks to a month, they would bury it under the sand and keep it there forever. Now, this is pretty cool. However, the startup didn't really provide how the algae burial would influence the environment. And, is there any amount of energy that is going to be used to store that algae biomass or similar? So it's kind of, very promising technology, but we should be hesitant so it does not cause another environmental disaster. Well, I've been talking about this carbon sequestration for a couple of episodes, but let's wrap it up with another super exciting technology. The scientists from Germany have figured out a way how to transform algae into carbon fibers. Now, this is really cool because carbon fibers are used in architecture, and in case they are mixed with stone through this super cool process this scientist has invented, they could actually replace concrete. And why is this important? Because the concrete and the cement industry, it accounts for actually 7% of all emissions of carbon dioxide in a year. So we're talking about a lot of carbon dioxide gets released in the atmosphere during the construction and related to the cement industry. So that would be really cool that we could make buildings that are made from algae that are actually storages of CO2, right? And then, it would be kind of make sense instead of making this huge monstrosity skyscrapers made from glass. Anyways, the only problem with this new technology is actually that it's really new, so it costs a lot of money to produce and it's going to take a couple of years to take off. But, it'd be really cool to see algae fibers used in, producing of the cars. So your car you drive would be like a little CO2 deposit. That's cool. Anyways, that's it from me today in this show. We'll continue next time with this carbon capture technologies and is there any future in the future. Thanks. See you next time. Bye.